In this week's weekly market forecast, we're going to be looking at where price is going to and where price is coming from. Trust me, if you know where price is going to and when it's coming from, you're going to be ahead of a lot of traders. And we're also going to be looking at what to do when price gets there. Now, I want to do something for you. First of all, I'm going to clean up this chart. I'm going to remove everything on the chart. Now, let us first of all break this Euro USD from the 4 hours time frame. Let's break it down a bit some more. First things first, we can see, okay, clear, we can see it's a downtrend and it seems to be pushing higher, meaning that it seems to be rallying now. Now, the question is, where is price coming from? Once you know where price is coming from, then you should now know where price might probably be going to. Now, I'm going to show you one or two things. Let's do this now. Let me just use the horizontal lines from the MT4. I'm going to pick the horizontal line and then show you, okay, where do you think price is coming from? If you look over here, you can see we have a little bit of mess in this area. Okay, let's use this box shapes rectangle. If you look very well, price has been, messing up in this area, meaning that it has been ranging in this area. And then you can clearly say that price is coming from this range because you can see it's breaking out of the range now. As it's breaking out of this range, where can you say price is going to, right? If you look at this, we have an area here. Let me make this a bit thicker. Let's make this a bit thicker so that we can see better. Great. So we have something around here. If you look very well, based on how price is moving now, as has broken out of this area, you have an area here that acted as support. We had a little fake out more or less, and then support, and then these areas, you can see what has been happening in these areas here. So this is a valid area. Yes, area, not a price point. So I can as well use a rectangle and, construct something like this for more clarity. From what is happening now to price, from this breakout that we have here, and of course, this is coming from early Asian session on today, 19th of October. So from this breakout here, I'm expecting maybe a quick retest of this because price has to rest. It's not just going to just push. You hardly say that. We might have a quick pullback here, and maybe later today or tomorrow, it might push higher to this area here of interest. Now, if you remember, if you check the previous videos or maybe even, the market recaps that we've been talking about, we have been looking at price retesting 1.17, that this is a good area of interest to jump in. A good area of interest, looking at this, I'm also considering Fibonacci. If I draw my Fibonacci retracement from the highs here to the lows, you can see that this area here, it coincides. It has confluence with the 50 marker. So this would be a very good area to jump in. And once you jump in here, you can easily see if it will go all the way back down, right? So this is what we have right in front of us for the Euro USD. Sorry, since I've taken a bit long on this Euro USD, but the foundation, the very beginning point is very, very important. You also have to pay attention to the strength and the weakness of the market. What's happening in the market based on the strength, based on the weakness. And today, we don't have much happening when it comes to the economic calendar. Today is pretty quiet, right? We have a couple of FOMC members and also the Bank of England. Governor Bailey will be on the wires later today. I don't think it's anything to be worried about as such. Now, moving on quickly to the rest of the majors and of course gold. You see the cable here, GBP USD. Where is price coming from? Where is it going to? If you look very well, we have this area of interest where it is now. And if you look at this from this angle, we have like a form of support, and then it acted a bit as resistance here, and now it's back here, and we're waiting to see what happens here. Now, based on where it is it going to bounce, or is it going to break out, retest, and then push higher? And of course, if it's going to do that, where do you think it's going to go to? It's going to go to these areas here, right? Now, you can see the way I'm drawing them is based on my eyes, where I'm looking at using my eyes to figure out those key turning areas, resistance. You can call this like a fake out. Have some action here, some action definitely here. So this might be an area where price might be going to for the GBP USD, the cable, right? So it's all about where price is going to, where price is coming from, and then to help you to understand the market better and how to ambush it. If you look at this, clearly this one is already here. So we already know where it is going to. So when it hits this area properly, it will now be a question of do you want to buy here or do you want to sell here? Because if you want to buy, you have to wait for it to break out and retest and then push higher some more. Or if you want to sell, look for price action. Don't forget your entry trigger is also very important. Look for price action, whether it's candlestick formation. It could be a bearish engulfing, a bearish pin or harami or whatever the case might be. Look for that over here in order to short. But one thing I don't like about this Aussie is that it has done this complete move, right? So I will be careful with this V-shaped move that we can see. But this is not one for me to pay close attention to. Kiwi too, practically, you know, Aussie and Kiwi, they're more or less like brothers and sisters. I can see the V-shaped move over here too. If you look at this also, as I said earlier, this is the V-shaped move over here that we can all witness in front of us. And then where is price going to? Price is going to these highs here. And basically, it is more or less already there as well. So you should be looking forward to a bounce or a breakout retest and then push higher, you know, some more. So you must always ensure that you are more or less a step ahead of what is happening so that you already know what and where to do what you want to do. So this is the dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss too is not that awesome. Most times if you see an instrument or a currency pair that is not too clean, the best thing to do is to leave it alone. Yes, leave it alone and then concentrate on the ones that could easily give you something. If you look at what we have in front of us, I have just marked out these key areas here, right, that has acted as support and resistance in the past. If you look at it clearly, over here it messed it up, but then it's now below. And where do you think it is going to? Where do you think it is going to? Most likely it's going to this area here that has acted as support. You look over here, we have some little resistance here. So when it gets here, it might either push higher or it might break out and then retest and then drop. So you must always know ahead of time what most likely might happen. It's just like saying in a soccer match, it's either team A or team B that would win, or it could even be a draw. That's what could easily happen. But you know that if it's the finals, there's no draw. Somebody has got to win. So in this business too of trading, you need to also know, hey, what is going to happen? Is it the buyers? Is it the sellers? Or is it going to be a stalemate or whatever the case might be? Once you understand these things, then you know what to do. Dollar yen. Yes, the dollar yen has been one. You know, we've been talking about this with the last week's recap and also last week's market forecast, where we looked at how price has neglected testing this area, and then testing this area. That means that these areas are yet to be tested as what? As support. These areas are yet to be tested as support. And when this happens, you will notice something. Price tends to get, there tends to be an explosion more or less to test these areas. And looking at these areas, you know, if you draw up your fib, if you put up your fib retracement, let's just draw the fib. Let's just drop a fib here quickly. If you drop your fib retracement from the lows to the highs, you can see the area that you might be more interested in. And that area is what you can see. You have this 38.250 here. So this would be a good area of confluence that I would like to jump in to this market, right? This one might be a bit of an extension because it's below the 61.8, right? So the key areas that I would always love whenever I put my fibs in would be the 50 and 61.8 areas of support or resistance. But then look at what's happening now. We're having some little consolidation, some little range here. Of course, price is always going to rest without a doubt. Price tends to do this little form of rest. If you look very well, you could even see some smaller forms of rest. But when price does this rest in front of us, you notice something. Price is most likely going to break out to the upside or break out to the downside of that exhaustion, that's the rest. So if this happens, you may have something like this, and then maybe a further drop to this downside. Now, if you are adventurous, you could also do something. You could also see how you can follow this market down, because most likely price is, attracted to orders, and most likely we have a lot of orders, buy orders, that is, you have a lot of buy limit penny orders waiting here, and you could even have some maybe stop loss and all waiting here as well, or whatever the case might be, even take profit as well for those that might be entering to sell. So you would have a lot of orders, pending orders waiting here, and price should be attracted to this area. Now, please pay attention to this video, and as you're watching this video, you also need to ensure that you watch the recap when we post the recap this weekend, because the recap is going to show what happened. And if this happens, of course, to make it to become more of a believer, and then you should just trade in this simple way of what? Of support and resistance coupled with price action. It's simple. Just look at the charts. You don't have anything much on the chart. You're just doing simple analysis, simple trades in order to make profit. You don't have to make things complicated for yourself. The dollar CAD, the dollar loonie, you see now that we have more of a down move. And it's also thanks to the crude oil. The crude oil has been appreciating. The crude oil had a little dip from yesterday, but it's still above the $80 per barrel marker. So you should expect this dollar CAD, this loonie, to drop some more, right? As the crude oil is making new highs, we should expect this loonie to make new lows before the end of the year. And gold, yes, gold. Looking at gold, let me clean up this chart. I'm going to clean up everything. I'm going to show you one or two things now. Now, remember we did something earlier where we said you look at this ranges more or less. I'm just going to show you these ranges using my eyes. And you can see the ranges that we have boxed out here. And you can see what's happening in the market. Whenever we have a range, then price will do what? Will break out. You can see as we had this breakout, it now came back to test this range, this lows of this range on the gold, and did what? Respected it and went down. But over here, this was based on last week's CPI on Wednesday, and then it broke out heavily, went back into this consolidation, and did what? Rushed back into this major consolidation, which took, I think, about 9 days ranging over here. So now look at what's happening to price. Is trying to make its way back to the highs of this range. Is it going to drop from here, or is it going to break out, retest, and then push higher? Don't forget, it's always for you to have a rough idea where price is coming from and also where it's going to, and then just do your markings and wait to see what price is going to do. Is it going to do this one or do that one? Never be surprised at what price is going to do. And also don't forget, when it comes to news majorly adds volatility into the market, but price already knows where it is going to. I repeat, price already knows where it's going to, but the news tends to add volatility at that point in time, right? So we're going to call it a day here. This is just a quick one based on this market forecast for this week, right? So ensure always that your stop loss is in place. Mental stop loss is not, I don't always advise mental stop loss. Your stop loss advisable should be on the charts. That's number one. And then also ensure that your risk management is well calculated. So you are risking something that your account can carry, not what your account cannot carry. If not, your losses will be heavy. And if they're heavy, they would eat up into your psychology, your emotions. Now, you can also watch a previous video where we talked about the 3 ways to deal with losses. It's going to help you, because this week you might have losses. I might also have losses as well. I'm yet to place a trade. I'm just setting ambush. Yes, I'm setting trap for price, and I'm simply waiting for it to enter my trap, and then I take advantage. With that said, thank you everybody. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notification, and do give this video a thumbs up. We're going to have more of this every week, just to give you better enlightenment about the business. Don't forget, the business is strictly trading, so it's best for you to learn by seeing how to trade, and that's what we're showing you. So thank you everybody. Do enjoy the rest of the day. Trade safely. Goodbye and God bless. Cheers.